on the road.
Back when we picked, okay, here we go. Let's nitpick.
I'm so confused because people have been asking me so many questions, and it's just, I don't know how anybody
can keep their story straight when they're lying their asses off? I know you can't. Some people can, but not many. Right. You don't know anybody how, not in your family, that's for sure. That's for very sure.
that has been interviewed keep everything straight. I think the little things get twisted and everything.
Keep it straight, huh? What do you keep straight? A story. The truth, the simple truth, and nothing but the truth. You don't have to keep straight. You can tell it a million times. And it's going to be the same experiential memory guiding you to the same statements. I think little things get twisted. Little things. No, they're big things. Believe
But
me.
you got to understand, we're all under
Now she's teaching us. You got to understand. What do I have to understand, Janie?
a lot of pressure here.
Oh, yeah. Daniel told us, dude. Oh, all the stress, all that stress.
All this was put on us.
All what? Your property is the crime scene, and you gotten rid of evidence by raking. But you think nobody can figure that out, even though you told us.
Or especially on Daniel, because Malaya's not opening her mouth.
Yeah.
And Daniel's taking all the backlash for this. So if it was Malaya Malaya opened her mouth, just how much backlash she would get.
It's funny because my daughter always says, so? When she's arguing with her mom. So?
So you got to cut Daniel a little slack here, guys. He did not use the ATV all the time of the search. It was me and Justin.
I don't have to repeat it, right? I told you, I showed it already.
And as I said, we picked Daniel up on an old road. We went up the pipeline, Justin and I did, and we picked Daniel up on an old road.
Got you.
So Daniel did not use the bike. The only time he was on the bike is when we picked him up on the road.
You picked him up on the road, but he was at the pipeline directly searching there, right around where the footprint was. And further along the pipeline, he was searching right there where he was driving that night.
And believe me,
I don't.
It's my four-wheeler, and believe me, I don't let Daniel drive my four.
I don't let Daniel drive my four. You see, now she's being an actress. Now she's trying to. Why? He's so irresponsible? Really? That's new. That's also a little bit of leakage right there. But, now you're putting on the act of the. Trust me, that night, you didn't care. Because he had to get two little bodies off the property. And that was your priority, to make sure that your home was not going to be looked at as a crime scene. That was your only concern. Except when he, really has to do something that he can do best. And I guess he did. Because so far I haven't heard from anybody who had seen or claims to have seen. I mean, in the Sebastian Reuters case, there were so many claims about what neighbors saw what. But, well, it's so isolated up there anyways. But still, he had some way to travel. But I think he knows exactly where he can maneuver and not be caught by any of the cameras. But it's, of course, very interesting. The cops, they wanted to know from that neighbor with the 20 cameras. They were hoping to find something, but I guess on those particular cameras, in those particular areas, there was nothing.
Wheeler, believe me.
Believe me, No, I don't. You told me twice. The more you tell me, the less I do believe you.
And yes, he is telling the truth. The bike did have a wiring problem because
What does it have to do with anything? It's drivable. You and Justin drove it. Why are you mentioning this?
mice get into it and chewed all the wiring off of it.
Oh, what? I must have missed it. Did Daniel actually pretend that the ATV couldn't have been driven or something like that? I don't know. But I wouldn't doubt it that he would make it sound even less likely for him to have driven it that night. You see, Daniel always comes back to the topic that is sensitive, actually. The same thing he wants to avoid, he's always coming back to, and Janie the same way.
So that's why it wasn't used neither until it got fixed.
What, did you fix it on the 3rd or on the 2nd or when? You just told us you used it the whole time. How much could it have taken to fix it? There we go. Like I said, guys.
I've been looking at the comments, and if you guys have anything wrong, don't get mad at me, but I will correct you guys. If you go back at the screenshots that Malaya sent Belinda.
Man, they should only invite the right people to comment and ask questions.
You will find the time of when Malaya told Belinda what time.
When Malaya told Belinda, listen to this. I don't know what's about to be said, but I can tell you there's something here.
Neither until it got fixed. I've been looking at the comments, and if you guys have anything wrong, don't get mad at me, but I will correct you guys.
Yeah.
If you go back at the screenshots that Malaya sent Belinda.
And they're paying attention to everything. Remember when Crime and Shame had that song? Remember, they were all lurking. All of them. Even though some of you may have thought, they're not there, they're not paying attention, they're not, oh yes, they are, all of them. That's why they called in, or that's why they're chatting finally on that show. If you go back at the screenshots that Malaya sent Belinda, now listen to this.
You will find the time of when Malaya told Belinda what time she called the 911.
What were you gonna say? The time of when Malaya saw. What did Malaya see?
It's all in her messages to Belinda. No, Daniel did not drive the ATV.
Again, that is her highly sensitive area. Why is it so important? You already told us, so if somebody asks again, why are you getting back into it?
I told you it was Justin and I that were out on the bike all day. We picked Daniel up on the pipeline on an old road. Justin and I went off the pipeline and we went off on an old road and we found Daniel there. We picked Daniel up.
You found Daniel there, right? Well, you knew where he was. You knew where he was going to do. Where he was going to go. He told you, I have to make sure I didn't drop anything at night that I couldn't see. Maybe he dropped something else when he had to get off the bike, and maybe one of the kids slipped off the bike and the footprint was created. Who knows? These are possibilities that we need to consider, because when we are going to get more statements that are significant, they may lead us right there to what actually took place. We picked Daniel up, yes.
Daniel was sitting on the front of the bike. So there was Justin, me, and Daniel on the bike, and we drove Daniel back to.
Uh-oh. There we go. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
So there was Justin, me, and Daniel on the bike.
There was Justin, me, and Daniel. She's okay. And
And we drove Daniel back.
we drove just then. So you drove Justin back somewhere? When?
To his friends that were on the pipeline, and Justin and I.
Interesting, right? Daniel and his friends were by the pipeline. Was Jordan there? Was Darren there? Who all was there? And why were they there? Didn't they wonder why they have to be back at the pipeline? You picked him up from the pipeline and you dropped him back off at the pipeline. And you're trying to tell me you didn't tell them that you may have dropped or may have. Darren knows what happened. Remember the analysis of the statement from May 6th. He knew. They were all searching for anything that could incriminate. They all have similar hobbies. And at least some of them really don't like police at all. And they stick together against their enemy. So you may wonder, how can this be so many people? How can you keep a secret? No, that's a very secretive society up there in these kind of so-called cultures. Right? The mathematicians. No, I'm not saying Darren is one. I'm not saying that, but well, allegedly there could be some among the people that were there at the pipeline. Let's say it like that. All of them at the pipeline. They didn't leave that area. They didn't go spread out into the woods to look for Jack and Lily. They were stuck on that damn pipeline because that's where they were worried something is going to be found.
I came back home. Well, if you know what a four-wheeler is, it's only
Come on, girl.
big enough for two people. Justin was driving. I was sitting on the back. So we made Daniel sit on the front because there was no room for him to sit on the back with me. Okay, no problem. I'm sorry, people, but I do not accept friends' requests. So please don't send them to me. Is there anything else you want me to clear up? Because I'm going to bed soon. So if you got any questions, ask them now. Okay, I already answered this question. My brother called me at 8:40.
So what? You answer the same questions all the damn time. And you repeat even answers when they're not being asked more than once, when the questions are not asked more than once. And that's interesting too. About my brother called me at 8:48. Interesting, actually. Now revisiting this, it becomes more interesting.
He ate and asked me if I wanted to go to town. I said no.
Is that why he called?
Was going back to bed. So I laid back down. I was playing on Facebook. I dozed off. I'm not sure what exactly time. I didn't look at the clock.
I'm not sure what exactly time. Also wrong structure. It's easier to what one word do we use? Bamboozle it or mess it up. Then when it's a lie, it's harder to keep a sentence straight. Let me say it like that. And keep the sentence correct. I'm not sure what exactly. There are many things. Where would you go from I'm not sure what exactly I should say Is that what's coming to your mind? And you're changing it to time? What exact time? Okay, I didn't look at the clock. Got it.
My dog woke me up. I heard the kids outside.
Right.
And then I dozed back off.
And that script they got down. I believe Janie, Malaya, and Daniel, when they came together, they got that script down good.
Again, and the next thing you know, I heard Daniel holler.
Next thing you know, yeah, a lot happened in between that. And she was awake for all of it. But it happened the night before that Jack and Lily, were taken, were moved, were transported.
Jack and Lily's name. Then about maybe 5-10 minutes after I heard him. I'm not sure exact what time because I didn't look at the
I'm not sure exact what time because I didn't look at
clock. And when I opened the door, Malaya was standing there in front of the RV, and I said, "What's up?" And she said, "The kids are missing. The kids, Lily and Jack, are gone." And I said, "How long?" She said, "About 20 minutes." I don't know what time I seen Malaya outside because I didn't look at the clock. I came in.
Again, she keeps saying about not having looked at the clock. You were awake for everything that morning because you were getting ready for what is about to happen. Meaning, Malaya or somebody was about to call 911. And you got the shed completely emptied, and it's D-Day. Like Katie Proudfoot said, the authorities were on their way. She used the word authorities because there was fear involved. Fear of the power these people have over them if they don't act right, if they don't keep the story straight, if they're not credible. Anyway, anyhow, anywho.
I grabbed my boots and headed up to the woods. So
I grabbed my boots and headed up to the woods.
I don't know what time I seen Malaya outside because I didn't look at the clock. I came in, I grabbed my boots and headed up to the woods. So I gave you guys a timeline. 8:48 is when he called me.
I gave you guys a timeline. Ain't that nice?
I dozed off. I don't know exactly what time I heard the kids. And according...
Yeah, because it would be harder for you to make something, when you make something up, to be accurate. Much harder. Then keep it as vague as possible.
To what, if I read it correctly in the chat between Belinda and Malaya, she said that she called the 911 at about 9:40. So that's what I believe it says. You'd have to check out the conversation between Malaya and Belinda. I'm talking about talking about the discussion between Malaya and Belinda.
Yes, we got it.
Not the discussion between Malaya and Cindy. Malaya was supposed to tell Belinda, according to her screenshot, that she called 911 at 9:40.
Was supposed to? Let's hear this.
You'd have to check out the conversation between Malaya and Belinda. I'm talking about talking about the discussion between Malaya and Belinda, not the discussion between Malaya and Cindy. Malaya was supposed to tell Belinda.
Malaya was supposed to tell Belinda. Really? Who made that decision? Was supposed to tell Belinda?
According to her screenshot, that she called 911 at 9:40. The one about between.
Did you have a discussion about what you're going to tell Belinda? with each other. Now, mind you, Malaya was there the whole day on the 2nd, right? When the children were reported missing. It was on the 3rd when she gave her interview, and later that evening when she took off. So I'm pretty sure there were a ton of discussions during the 2nd of May, such as Belinda messaged me, what should I say? That's why I believe that language enters her. This enters into her language. She was supposed to. She may have been there with Daniel and even with Janie while she was talking to Belinda. What should I say? What should I say? What should I say? Oh, she's talking about the codes. Oh, just change the subject. Just don't answer. Don't get into it. We don't want this sensitivity.
Malay and Cindy. Is that the one you want me to look at? Okay, there's something I want to ask you guys about the message that you're putting up on the screen about where it says Cindy Murray. Did you notice that the person in blue, there's no little person beside the message that were sent? Usually when you message someone, the picture of the person comes up at the bottom of the blue. Malaya has the same phone as me, and whenever I message somebody, my little picture comes up at the bottom of the message. So you see where the blue is lit up? How come there's no little person on the bottom of the messages? Yes, we do have Wi-Fi calling here, and when I call on or message on my phone, if I send a message to somebody, my little picture shows up on the bottom of my message. And then when somebody messages me back, their little pictures show up on my messages. So there is no little people on the bottom of those messages. So you don't know who sent them those messages.
Well, if you send several messages, several paragraphs, it doesn't show the picture every time. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But she's saying so again. What were those messages? Oh God, I'm getting tired now of this woman.
As I said, Malay and I have the same phone. Okay, who on here has what is it? Are you saying a phone? What kind of a phone? They say they don't show up on here right now. There's too many things coming up here. I'm trying to read here. An Android, at least
clear this up for me.
On an Android phone, that's what I have, and I see everybody coming up here. It doesn't matter what kind of phone anybody has on this screen. I see everybody coming up and who's typing what. Yes, when I message somebody, my screen shows up blue when I am talking or messaging someone.
Yes.
But when I'm done messaging,
yes,
my little picture comes up on the bottom of what I message. And here's another thing that's weird.
God, now you're making me.
How come she messaged her mother at whatever time it says? Let me go back here. She messaged her mother at 11:33. If my kids were missing, don't you think I would have called my mother before that? Yes.
Okay, guys, I'm getting tired of this woman. But what is she talking about with the phone thing here? What is she talking about? I see people I message with. Okay, their picture shows up on Android on the left, and my picture's on the bottom right, showing I have seen it. once. My picture is not showing up under the blue, under each blue. I don't know what you're talking about, Janie, but I'll get back to you later. Thank you, guys.